Hey ladies, just wanted to do a quick video on why I left Lularoe and why I decided to choose Agnes and Dora, make the switch to Agnes and Dora instead. So just wanted to go through a few things. I have my little notes here because I tend to get off traffic, get off topic, and ramble a little bit. So one of the main reasons why I decided to I felt like Lularoe was no longer a good fit for me was, even though you get to choose your sizing, you don't get to choose your prints, which was fun at first, I'll admit, because it's like really exciting, that anticipation of what you're going to get. Sometimes you get some really awesome stuff, and sometimes you get some really not so fun stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to sell this? So that was one of the things that, as time went on, got really frustrating, because I get these prints that I knew that the customer base that I had would not like, and the idea that you had to just carry more in sizes to have more variety wasn't really helpful, because you got stuck with all this inventory and you just had to find the customer for it, which I believe is a kind of a mentality that department stores have, where they carry something for I think for everybody, and then they just have all this extra stuff that never moves, which seems to be the what's going on with a lot of Lularoe consultants. That being said, that doesn't mean that Lularoe consultants can't make it work. I just feel like, which leads me to my other reason why I felt like Lularoe was no longer a good fit, was the lack of training. Consultants was was lacking. I feel like they really needed to build on setting up consultants to be successful, but I felt like and it was kind of regurgitated among like a lot of the team leaders, and I felt like wasn't really good advice. I just kept seeing consultants get more into debt. Thankfully I was paid off by the time I sold my stuff back, and had my shop open. I didn't have any debt, thankfully. But I remember the last month of being a Lularoe consultant, I was, because I was trying to build my sizes, because that's what I was told to do, to build my sizes. And, when you don't really come from a retail background, you just kind of go what your team leaders are telling you. And most of the time your team leaders don't have a retail background, and so forth and so forth. So it's not really their fault. It's just kind of, like I said, the training is lacking there. Not to say that I feel like that's kind of like the issue in direct sales for clothing. There's not the training is still lacking, but I do feel like Agnes and Dora, I feel like they're kind of trying, they're getting there, but that's something I'll probably get into more detail in another video, kind of like where I've started to like look for my training. I don't necessarily follow the person that sponsored me in the company, because they don't have a retail background, and I don't want to like keep making the same mistake in this with this company. So anyway, that was reason number 2. Reason number 3 was excuse me, kind of ties into reason number 1, where I get to choose my inventory. But I like that Agnes and Dora has a lot more basics, more neutral colors, which, don't get me wrong, I really love the fun prints from Lularoe. Was like I'm the one with like the wacky leggings. Like, you look at my collection of leggings, like most of them are pretty wacky. So that I wasn't, I'm not mad about, but but as far as like the ideal customer that I was trying to cater to, leaned more towards like basics and like florals and more wearable. Not a lot of moms like to be in like wacky leggings, but I like that I can cater to more of the my ideal customer with Agnes and Dora, and I like that I get have more variety. It's easier to get a hold of basics with Lularoe, it was such a struggle, like to find a pair of black leggings or gray leggings, just anything like neutral color was really difficult to get a hold of. I feel like those were kind of like the unicorn prints. And when I got my kit from Agnes and Dora, I was like, wow, I got a lot of black. Maybe I got a little too much black in my inventory. Need to add a little bit more color. But anyway, it was kind of nice. It's nice that I can do that. Like choosing, I could incorporate more neutrals and like basics in my in my inventory. Another thing, as far as like I understand like Lularoe is a they're all about modesty, so they'll never have shorter dresses or sleeveless, and I know they say because it's they want to cater to everybody, but as far as like sizing, but it is a more, not that it's a Mormon company, but the founders are Mormon, so they are believe in modesty, so they won't ever have things like that. And I like my sleeveless, I like having like a little shorter dress, especially like where I live, it's super hot. So to be able to order a style of dress in like a sleeveless or shorter sleeve or shorter length, that I have that option. I like that I'm able to do that with Agnes and Dora. So moving on to reason number 4, flexibility, as far as like how I can sell. I like that now. I don't think Agnes and Dora always had this, but I believe in the last couple months they've allowed reps to sell on their business pages. You can do live sales on your business pages. I've created a group that's linked to my business page, which if you get a chance to check out, it's Agnes and Dora, Fashionable Mom Boutique. You can find me on Facebook. The name is, my group is linked to my Facebook business page as well. So check it out. I do like styling. I show like little previews, which I'll be having like a little soft launch tomorrow, but I'll be having my official launch on next Friday. So keep an eye out for that. So I like that I'm able to do that, and I could really focus on building my business page. And my group page, I like to have there because, I don't know if there's a way to turn that you get notified every time like I have a sale or something on my business page. I believe if you have your notifications on for your group page, you can, but I'm not sure. I'm not super tech savvy, so if you guys know, please let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. So I like having that flexibility. I love that we have can sell through the website that Agnes and Dora has for us, which makes it so much easier when I'm inputting my inventory. I think I put in my inventory in like a couple hours. I didn't have to take pictures, which is reason number 5. I liked that I don't have to take pictures of everything. I like that there are some SKUs that don't show up, but out of the like 250 pieces that I got, I only got like that little bin of, which is probably like 10 pieces that the SKUs weren't showing up because I think they're brand new, so the SKUs don't show up. So those I do have to take pictures of. But 10 compared to like 250 pieces, like, I don't know, makes such a world of difference. And they look so much nicer, the stock photos that Agnes and Dora has anyway. As far as like, I guess reason number 5, my reason number 5, I think I'm on number 5 now. Even though Audrey, like, it did have its hiccups, but towards the end, they redid Audrey, which there's some better things about it than the old Audrey. But, I like that I'm able to, just use, you could either use PayPal or Square or whatever kind of method you want to use for collecting payment, which is nice. Square is definitely more reliable, I think, to invoice people. So that was another plus for me. As far as like the website thing goes, I know you could kind of do something like that with Lularoe. Like if you sign up for Shop the Row, you can kind of like, have all your stuff tracked there, and then like, create like a personal party for someone if someone who's not on Facebook, you could send them. That's what I did a lot of the time. But the fact that I had to take pictures of everything and I had to kind of double track everything, even though I track stuff on Audrey, I had to also track stuff on Shop the Row. So it kind of cuts me that extra time too. So I'm able to focus on building my business. And lastly, I guess the sizing was another thing that was a little frustrating sometimes. Not for me, like, because I know whenever you go into a store, not everything is going to always fit you the same, especially depending on the fabric. Like for this, well, this is an Agnes and Dora. This is Lularoe. I mean, I still love Lularoe. I still shop from them. This is an Amelia dress. They're usually true to size, but depending on the fabric, sometimes I fit into a small. But I'm usually like a true medium. And I like that with Agnes and Dora. For the most part, I'm generally a medium. Sometimes a small. There are some things that do fit a little bit bigger. And that's usually the case in retail. Like, not everything fits the same depending on the fabric. But it was like such a big difference. Like, for instance, the perfect tee, like I'd have to fit in the smallest one, extra small, which I never fit in extra small on anything. So that was like a little frustrating for customers. I mean, it made me feel skinny wearing like an extra small, because I've never ever fit into anything that little. But it was frustrating for customers, when they were ordering and they were out of state and they never tried before. When they would get a medium, they'd be like, "Well, this is super huge." So yeah, the sizing is a little bit more consistent. It's more true to size. More what you would expect if you'd go into like a regular store, like Nordstrom, Forever 21, H&M, wherever you'd like to shop. So yeah, those are mainly, as far as like what I wanted for my business, those are like the main reasons why I just decided that Lularoe was no longer a good fit for me. However, that doesn't mean that I don't have the utmost respect for the company and what they stand for, what they're what they're trying to build and instill in their consultants. I like that, even though it didn't work out for me, I was still able to send back my inventory, and which I'm still waiting for the refund. I sent it like over 2 months ago, but I get that they're like really backed up and they're growing, and it's going to take some time. But the fact that I had that option was really helpful for me, and then that way I was like not in debt, and it was able to even have a little extra to start up Agnes and Dora. So for that, I'm forever like grateful for everything that I've learned, and I hope from the mistakes that I've made with Lularoe that I can learn not to make those same mistakes here. So I'll be doing videos on as far as like kind of where I look to for my training and what I want to do differently for my for my company, and for my company, for my business, my little clothing business. But yeah, I still think like if you're considering going into direct sales, Lularoe is also a great option. Other than that, I have nothing but I think they have great quality clothing, and I think they've gotten a lot better about their quality control as well. They really do like listen to the customers, and they are working on things. But as far for me personally, I thought Agnes and Dora was just a better fit for me. But I definitely think Lularoe, there's something for everyone out there. And Agnes and Dora isn't the only one. There's tons of other direct sales companies that are coming out. So it just depends on your direction, your style, what you want out of your business, to consider. That I wish I would have considered more, I would have really thought about before joining, which I did. And I just got super excited about the opportunity. My sister-in-law told me about it, and I didn't look at anything else. So that was like my mistake. So definitely do your research if you're trying to, if you want to get into direct sales. I'd highly recommend just doing your research, seeing what's a good fit for you. So I hope this video was helpful, and if you guys have any more questions, please, I'll link my email in the description below, and make sure to check out my page. And if you're new, please subscribe. See you guys later. Bye now.